Good evening, everybody. This is Sukesh from Green EOS, and I'm coming from Sweden here. And we have Jona today from Pink.network, who's going to be the presenter for AtomicAssets. And before getting started, I just want to tell briefly about AtomicAssets, and I want to introduce Jona. AtomicAssets is an NFT standard. As they say, NFTs done right, and I really agree with that because I have tried it personally, and it was a really pleasant experience. In less than 5 minutes, I was able to create my NFTs, and I was able to sell them in the marketplace. It was really a great experience. I recently wrote a blog about it as well, and today I'm really proud to introduce Jona Wilmsmann. I hope I said it right. From Pink.network, and he's also the co-founder and developer for AtomicAssets Standard as well. So welcome, Jona, and please go ahead.
Hi, Sukesh, and hi, everyone watching. Thank you for having me. So you gave a pretty good overview in the introduction. So I'm the co-founder of Pink.network, which I founded together with my co-founder Fabian pretty much 1 year ago. We're active mainly in the Wax ecosystem. We're a Wax guild here, and we're building all sorts of stuff for Wax. And the most prominent thing that we have built and only very recently actually launched is AtomicAssets, which is the new NFT standard. So NFT, I'm figuring most of you should be familiar. It stands for non-fungible tokens. And we believe that with AtomicAssets, we're really making non-fungible tokens ready to be used in mass adoption and also as interactive parts in games. So I just start off by saying AtomicAssets is a standard for any EOS.io blockchain, which Wax is. Wax is based on the EOS.io technology, which means there are no transaction fees and a new block every half a second. So there's no waiting for the next block, really. It's just instant, which is crucial for user experience. You can't just wait 20 seconds for every transfer. That's not nice. And so that's the baseline. We're developing it on EOS.io. And then we believe that we made some crucial design decisions that led to AtomicAssets being what it is today. And as you said, our sort of motto is NFTs done right, because that's really what we believe AtomicAssets is. It starts off by there being no RAM cost for users. We think that's extremely crucial. On Wax, a couple of months ago, there was a Garbage Pail Kids release, which was hugely successful, actually. But one issue that was very prominent at the beginning was that users didn't have any RAM. And their transactions failed, actually, because they didn't have enough RAM. And RAM is a resource on the EOS.io blockchain. And if you don't know what it is, then that's actually good, because you shouldn't have to know what it is. That's why there is no RAM cost with transferring or storing NFTs for the users, only for the creators. The creators deal with it, the users don't. We think that's very crucial. Then AtomicAssets has powerful trade offers. So that means I can offer some of my NFTs for some of your NFTs, and you will see the trade offer in your wallet or wherever. And then you can just look at the trade offer, decide to accept it, and the NFTs are automatically traded, or you can decline it, like you might be used to with Steam trading, for example. We also have very interesting features, which I think is an interesting feature, which is backing NFTs with tokens. For example, you can back an NFT with Wax, which then means that this Wax is sort of embedded into the NFT and can only be freed by burning the NFT. It gives the NFT thus a sort of minimum value, because you can always just burn the NFT and receive those Wax tokens. We've seen users really liking the idea. We've seen users backing their own NFTs with tokens. And I think there really is like there really are the most interesting concepts that this can be used for. I think they're not even discovered yet. I think there's a lot of potential, and I think we will see very interesting concepts made possible by this technology. Another thing that Atomic Assets has is templates, which originally actually was just meant as a way to save on RAM cost, because Atomic Assets also is very RAM efficient. But it has the added benefit that it actually allows you to have provable scarcity for your NFTs. For example, you have one edition of your NFT and you only want there to be 10 of them. So you want there to be 10 different garbage packets, golden cards, for example. With Atomic Assets, you can actually set this 10 as the maximum supply, which is then enforced by the smart contract. You can't mint any more than that, which is another powerful feature. I've already mentioned it's RAM efficient. And now this last part is really more interesting for the developers, but we think it's very crucial actually, which is that we built a powerful open source API, which makes getting all the relevant data very easy. And really, for Atomic Assets to gain traction, we need the developers to build cool stuff on it. So we really wanted to make sure that the developer experience is just as good as the user experience. We want to provide the tools to make developing on Atomic Assets as simple as we can. And yeah, that's really what we've been building for the last 6+ months, and recently launched the 1.0 version of Atomic Assets, as well as the Atomic Hub. And the Atomic Hub is a website and interface for Atomic Assets, which users can use to see their NFTs, to explore different NFTs, to sell NFTs, to trade NFTs, and to also create NFTs. And for that, I'll share my screen and just show you. So if you want to check it out yourself, you can just go on atomichub.io, see it for yourself. What we have here is the homepage that you first land on, where you can see some stats, like we have more than 8,000 NFTs created, which the vast majority of them have been created by users that were simply using the NFT creator. So the community was able to create all these NFTs, and a lot of creative new NFTs have been born here on Atomic Assets, which really like makes me happy, makes me proud that we were able to provide an experience that is user-friendly enough for people to actually use. And we will for sure improve it in the future. So yeah, just going here, we see new sales. We also see garbage pail kids cards here, which I will get into later. You see newly created assets, and then at the top here you really have the 4 major categories, which is an explorer, a marketplace, trading interface, and an NFT creator. I will just shortly showcase what the explorer is. You can just search through all sorts of assets here. You can, for example, at the beginning we minted a beta award. Just search for it here and find it. You can look at all the details. You can see mint numbers. You can see what collection it belongs to. You can see the awards. You can obviously see the image here and all the attributes. The Explorer is really meant to be used as a sort of, I want to know something about Atomic Assets. I want to know what this asset does, what kind of attributes this asset has, what templates there are, what collections there are. All of that can be done in the Explorer. You can just search through everything that has been created on Atomic Assets. Then the marketplace, I mean, it's straightforward. It's just a place where anyone can list their NFTs for sale, and on the flip side, anyone else can see these listings and buy them. I will get into that a little bit later. Trading interface as well. This is where you can really, like I mentioned, we have these trade offers that are actually native to Atomic Assets. You can create new trade offers. You can see your trade offers here. I'll also get into that later, because first I want to showcase the NFT creator. And NFT Creator has really been one of the interesting things that I think a lot of users enjoyed. It really allows you to create your own NFTs on the Wax blockchain without any programming knowledge. In a recent interview I had with Joel from the Bad Crypto podcast, I already created this collection, and I will go through the same process here to really showcase it. So first of all, you will create a collection and just be asked to enter all the information that you want to have about your collection. The collection is really the uppermost part of the structure, which means Garbage Pail Kids, for example, is a collection if it's on Atomic Assets, or a Blockchain Heroes could be a collection. So this really is like the big grouping which groups together assets which belong to the same D-app, or as the name says, to the same collection. You can choose a photo here. I will choose this town hall that we had created for a game that we planned in the past, but then never actually finished because we wanted to do it on Ethereum and it just didn't work. This name is already in use because I will go through the process that I went through last time. So this is the name of the collection. You can also choose a longer name without any restrictions, like Kingdom Collection. You can set a URL here, you can set a description here, you can set a market fee here, which I think is interesting for a lot of people, because with this market fee, you're able to get sort of royalties from any sales from the NFTs in your collection. So if you create 100 assets in your collection, 100 NFTs, you hand them out to people, maybe you just give them away for free, and then later someone else lists the NFT on the market and it gets sold, then you will receive this market fee, which means that as a collection author, you're really encouraged to embrace the secondary market. Otherwise, you might be tempted to say, yeah, I don't really want to have a secondary market. I don't make any money off it. You should rather buy new NFTs all the time from me. But with this market fee, the NFT author actively benefits from any secondary market sales, which we think is really healthy for the ecosystem. If there's a lot of secondary market activity, you will see the community be more engaged. You will see interesting sales pop up. So just changing the name here. If I click Create Collection now, in my case, I'm using the Wax Cloud wallet. So the transactions get confirmed automatically. If you were, for example, using Scatter or the Anchor wallet, then the Scatter pop-up would appear and you would be asked to sign a transaction there. So first step, I have now created my collection. And now the next thing that needs to be done is creating a schema. And schemas are the most technical thing that in the future we want to abstract away a little more. We don't want you to have to really understand what a schema is to be able to create a collection, create your assets. Right now, you kind of need to understand it, so I will explain. The schema defines the data structure of your NFTs. This means your NFTs will have attributes, like you can see here. The default attributes are name and IMG, so image. But maybe you want your assets, your NFTs, to have other attributes as well. So you can just add new attributes here. For example, you want to have a description. And this description shouldn't be a number, it should be a text. So you can just define these attributes here. Next attribute, maybe you want to have a level for your NFTs. Maybe you're programming or you're creating a game, and there your NFTs have levels. So for example, Pokemon cards, and they have levels. Might make sense. So I will give the schema a name. I will call it building, because that's what I will be using it for in this example. And just click Create Schema, and the transaction is being signed once again. And now the next step really is creating the NFT. So we've created the schema, and we can see the attributes here. We can even add new attributes later. We can't edit the existing ones. We can only add new ones. Now I click the mint new asset here, and this is the final step of the process. So for my asset, I will select an image. This one here is a sawmill, which hopefully you can see. What's happening here is that as I'm selecting the image, just as you would select any other file from your computer when uploading it, it gets uploaded and pinned to IPFS, and a hash is created, and this hash can be seen here. So that's what actually is stored on the blockchain. The image itself isn't stored, just the hash, and the image is then pinned to IPFS. We call it sawmill, and for the description, just short little text. You can really put anything that you want in here. And for the level, I will just say it's level 1. I've just minted it, probably that makes sense. And for the account name, I choose who should get this asset after it's minted. I want that to be my own account, which is this. And how many copies do I want to create of it? I will just create one for now. See the overview here. Click confirm, the transaction is signed. And now I have created my own asset on the AtomicAssets Standard on the Wax blockchain. If I go into my account now, up here in my account, I can see it in my inventory right here. And that really, I mean, it's a 3-step process, and you can also use templates, and it's a 4-step process, which is kind of too much, but I'd argue it's still a lot better than any existing system to create NFTs easily. And in the future, we will add an easy mode, which will once again improve the user experience, so that especially this the schema part won't be necessary to know if you want to create your NFTs, which will hopefully make it simple for anyone to do, even without watching an explanation first. I can showcase, for example, the trading here. I just need any Wax account. Maybe someone here who wants to have this can put it in the chat room here. And then I will try my best to actually find it, the chat room. There it is. So, no. I think Anders is the first one. There you go. But Anders, now I'm putting you on the spot because I will want to have one community badge back for it. So if you want to do this trade, Anders, you will have to give me one of your badges, and I'll add in one wood from the Nifty Wizards collection. So I can really just choose which NFTs do I want to give, which NFTs do I want to receive. Click create a trade offer. Please accept. Confirm it. Transaction gets signed. And now here we have the trade offer. And on the opposite side, for Anders, it will now show up. He will see the trade offer in his trading section and be able to accept or decline it. Looks like he did accept it. If I now go in my inventory, I can see I have this badge right here. I've given away 2 of my NFTs, I've gotten 1 back. And one more thing that I can now showcase, and now Anders, you can't be this quick, please. I can create a link, and this is really an exciting feature in my opinion. What it means is that I can send away my non-fungible tokens, and without knowing the account name of the person I'm sending it to, instead I'm just sending them a link, a URL, and when they click on it, they can claim it. So Wax coffee time gift. I can just add the memo here. I will throw in another wood NFT. We'll generate this link. Click confirm. Transaction gets signed. Hopefully. Might be the case that the Wax Cloud wallet doesn't want to do it quite as much as I wanted. Let's try it again. I'm seeing someone open GPK cards right in the call. Okay, that's a bit bad luck presenting. I promise it would work. Wax Cloud Wallet sometimes doesn't quite want it to work. Instead, I will list it for sale because I think that has a higher likelihood of working. I can just list this NFT for sale. I will ask for, I don't want to ask for too much. I will ask for 10 wax. Click confirm. Hopefully this now works. Yeah, it worked. So in my sales, I can now see I have this badge on sale. Oh, it's actually mint number 1. So I'm sorry, Anders, that I scammed you like this. You can see the mint number here. And now it's on sale. And that's really what the Atomic Hub offers right now. It offers you to create new NFTs. It offers you to trade with these NFTs. It offers you to sell them, to buy them. We will soon also add auctions to it. Someone has purchased the sale. Whoever this is, congratulations. Just got a very cheap mint number 1. I'm sorry, Anders, for scamming you. And that's really what the Atomic Hub is. It's an interface to allow you to interact with the Atomic Assets Standard as simply as we can, and hopefully in a decent user experience. And in the future, we will surely have big dApps, big dApps, big collections come to Atomic Assets and really bring their assets, their NFTs to Atomic Assets, which will bring Atomic Assets to this whole new level. Because right now we are seeing a lot of crypto artists create the NFTs, which is amazing, which there is some really cool art already being created on Wax. But when we see these big collections, big dApps to bringing hundreds and thousands of users, not 100,000s, but hundreds/thousands of users, that's when we really will see Atomic Assets and the Atomic Hub to gain some traction. And one last thing that I will showcase is the Atomic Bridge. Because Garbage Pail Kids is hugely successful on Wax right now, and Garbage Pail Kids right now uses the Simple Asset Standard, we have built a bridge that you can use to bring your Garbage Pail Kids cards from the Simple Asset Standard to the Atomic Asset Standard. You can see right here, I have some Garbage Pail Kids cards from the newest exotic release prepared here. I can just select them from the one side of my inventory. Can swap them, sign this transaction. Unless Wax Cloud Wallet once again isn't wanting to sign it. I think I know why actually. Just log out and log in. Where's this new window opening? I don't even know. I will trust that you guys are able to find this out yourself and that you will manage to do it yourselves. This is not a bug with the Atomic Hub. It's a problem with the Cloud Wallet. I will blame it all on them and say that it's not our fault. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble on about Atomic Assets, and I hope that you will try it out on atomichub.io.
Thank you very much, Jona, and it was really awesome to see. I actually didn't know a couple of features myself. It was really cool to see the trading stuff between, you can propose the trade to Anders here. That was really cool. I didn't know that. I tried the swapping myself today, and it was really well working, and it went well, really. I swapped around 10 assets within just 2 minutes. So it's really working, guys. You go and check it out. And now we are open for questions. So I would actually ask everyone to write their questions. I see Raga was very active in opening GPK cards. Maybe if you have any questions, please write them down in the chat. And to start with, you kind of emphasized on initially like what sets Atomic Assets apart from the other NFT standards, right? So Could you actually elaborate on that? Like, I know that you don't actually have the need for RAM in the atomic assets, but like what actually sets it apart when it comes to other assets in the blockchain ecosystem in general?
Yeah, totally. So just a big comparison, which is EOS.io versus, for example, Ethereum. I think it's very, very, very clear that EOS.io is just the better technology to have your NFTs on, because there are no transaction fees, because because you have these really big transactions per second that are possible, like in the thousands of transactions per second. You have these 0.5 seconds block times, which means, I mean, you saw it here in my example, I don't have to wait 20 seconds after signing a transaction to see its effect. It just happens immediately. So EOS.io really is the technology, in my opinion, to build NFTs on. And then on EOS.io, there were multiple assets NFT standards before AtomicAssets, which the biggest one was simple assets, or I mean, still is simple assets. And at the end of last year, in December last year, when we first planned to build an own NFT-based game on on the Wax blockchain. And so we looked at the options that we had for it, which was mainly simple assets. And there were a couple of things that made us realize or think that our plan wouldn't work on simple assets, that it just wasn't suitable. One of the big issues is that in simple assets, right now at least, users pay for the RAM of NFTs, with garbage packets being kind of an exception right now. I won't get into that too much. But the problem with that is that RAM isn't really an intuitive concept for mainstream users. So most people that are not familiar with blockchain will have no idea why they need this RAM resource, what it even is, why they need it to interact with the blockchain. So the first major design decision that we made with AtomicAssets is that the author of the NFTs will pay for the RAM, and that won't change. You can transfer NFTs without any RAM cost associated, because the author will still be paying for it. We think that's very crucial. It also allows smart contracts to better interact with AtomicAssets, which I probably won't get into too much here. It's a bit technical, but it's important. The next thing is RAM efficiency. AtomicAssets uses a custom serialization to store the data, which means that creating NFTs can be in the range of 30 to 80% less costly on AtomicAssets when compared to simple assets, especially when using templates, and especially if you have big data that you want to store in your NFTs, like a long text or something. Right now on Wax, you could argue, well, RAM is cheap, doesn't really matter. And I mean, that's true, but if we want to achieve like mass adoption, if we want to have millions of NFTs trading on the Wax blockchain, then this will be a big improvement. Saving 50%, 60%, 70% of RAM means that the costs of running your dApp will be significantly lower. And it also means that the Wax blockchain is less polluted with data, sort of to speak. And we add new features like the trade offers, which are native to AtomicAssets, which once again, we think are really crucial with simple assets right now. For trading an intermediate contract, the Wax Express trade is used, which complicates things, where I've even heard, I've even seen in some dev channels that apparently NFTs got stuck in there, which really shouldn't happen. So having these trade offers native to AtomicAssets is very crucial. Backing tokens to NFTs, which I talked about earlier, it's something that is native to Atomic Assets. I think it won't be used by everyone, but it will open possibilities that without backing tokens isn't possible. And then one last big thing is that we have inline smart contract notifications, which most people will probably not even understand what it means, but if you're a smart contract developer, then you will understand, and you probably will realize how crucial it is to have these notifications if you want to integrate your NFTs into your game, which runs on the blockchain. If you have a smart contract where your game or your dApp runs, and you want to make sure that the NFTs are actually integral parts of this dApp, then these notifications that you have in Atomic Assets and don't have in simple assets are crucial, which I think is another big advantage. And then just the whole ecosystem around it. We have the Atomic Hub, which I would argue is pretty good. Still a lot of room for improvement, but it's like a good baseline for developers to start working and not have to worry about implementing trading themselves, because they can just send their users over to Atomic Hub. And then also the APIs and JavaScript modules that we built, I think they're very powerful and will make integration easier. And I hope I didn't bore all the non-technical people too much, but I mean, it's an NFT standard, of course, it's technical, right?
Absolutely. And I really like the API functionalities. Actually, from a company and the developer standpoint, it's really useful to easily get the data, push the data, and so forth. And that can enable us to build really good applications easily.
Yeah, like just looking at how much time went into everything.
Yeah.
There was probably half of the time was just spent on the API because, and that's half of the time as in like 500 plus hours, because it's, I mean, 500 is half. So like in total 1,000 plus hours. So there's really like a lot of thought, a lot of time spent making sure that everything is as good as we could make it.
Absolutely. There are a couple of other questions here in the chat, like, do you have any plan for interoperability between different blockchains, for example, Wax, EOS, or Ethereum, and so forth?
So interoperability between different EOS.io blockchains is very interesting in my opinion, and also something that we do want to look at in the future, because I think it's like within the, it's possible to make it not super complicated and to have this done, which I think would be really interesting, and certainly something that we will look at in the future. Interoperability between Ethereum and EOS.io blockchains such as Wax, that's really difficult to make in the decentralized way. Maybe if there's like a ton of demand for it, we will look at it, but not in the foreseeable future.
Okay. There are other questions. Well, here Raghav says, if you click on 6 sales today, it happens. I was the only one to do a legit sale on the Atomic Hub today. How do you plan to get more buyers and sellers on board? Like, what's your plan for futures? Are there any upcoming announcements that brings more buyers and sellers on board?
Yeah, the really crucial thing is just to have big dApps to come to launch on Atomic Assets. It's the same that we saw with simple assets. Before the garbage pail kits launch, nobody was really using it, or like they were being used a bit for the prospectors launch, but apart from that, there was nothing really valuable on there. I think, please, if there was something, and don't feel offended, I might just have missed it. But what really brings the users to Atomic Assets is when big dApps will come to Atomic Assets. And I can't go into this in too much detail, but we are in conversations with multiple projects, and there will 100% be big dApps coming to Atomic Assets. And with these big dApps, obviously the users will come.
Absolutely. There are more questions actually here. Are you planning to integrate function where you can use fiat or credit card to buy NFT straight away, but transferring into Wax to make the buy in the background process?
we really want to do it. But the thing is, like, that's not something that we can offer ourselves. That's a huge area that there are big legal implications for offering something like this. So if we find a payment processor that can do this for Wax directly, you, for example, see on OpenSea, they have this sort of thing for Ethereum because there are payment processors that offer it for Ethereum. Right now, there's nobody offering it for Wax directly, so that's why we can't offer it. But like, as soon as this becomes available, like, we will integrate it. I think that's crucial for adoption.
I think I know, like, there are a couple of discussions ongoing, and I saw like MoonPay, for instance, in some integration in some platform. So maybe in near future you might see a fiat integrate. There are more questions here, like
that's pretty loud.
So they say, like, is there a feature that is similar to Engine where the NFTs contains codes that can be revealed, like on Binance virtual event? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what this was on Engine. Like, just I'm assuming this could be done in a like third-party smart contract which handles this. But I mean, I have no clue what Engine did there, so I can't give definitive answer on that.
Okay. And one more question here: are those atomic assets can be removed or deleted? Worry about danger to upload illegal images, etc.
Yeah. So I mean, there's two things to this. One is that NFTs can be burned by their owner. So that's not us. We can't just burn your NFT, obviously. It's Atomic Assets is decentralized, but anyone can burn their own NFTs. And then for the Atomic Hub, we have a blacklist feature that we use if there is a collection that either uses copyrighted material that they have no rights for, or they are obviously just trying to scam people by faking existing cards, or they're uploading illegal images. Like, I mean, you can imagine what that would be. We have a blacklist feature for that, which will just hide them from the Atomic Hub. We won't delete them from the blockchain because we can't, and we shouldn't be able to, because on the blockchain level it's decentralized. But for the Atomic Hub, we have a blacklist. If someone creates bad NFTs, we will blacklist it, and it won't show up by default, and you will get like huge warnings telling you this asset is blacklisted, you shouldn't buy it.
I think that's one of the really good functionalities, and I think anyone who is building a marketplace around atomic assets should have this functionality. And I think that with that we can conclude the question and answer time. And if you have any further questions, you can always go to atomichub.io, or you can join the Telegram channel Atomic Assets and ask questions. And the guys over there are really helpful and really willing to answer the questions. That brings us to the giveaway time now. I'm going to share my screen. I have a special tool that I'm going to use for selecting the winners. Let's see. I'm going to stop your screen sharing, you know. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So let me see. I took the names from the list of all the people who joined the Meetup group. So this was the first Meetup. So that was what I promised, and that's what we have. So we have 66 entries in total. Let's see who actually joined the event today. We are going to give away 10 cards, so your chances are quite good. Let's see. I hope you can hear the sound as well. Do we have Gabe Lincoln by any chance? I'm gonna remove Gabe Lincoln. I'm gonna write down the names. Do we have Pontus here?
Looks like it.
That's great. Lucas Erby. Congrats, Lucas. Can you guys hear the sound as well?
Yeah, we can. So I think it might be coming from your mic, but we can.
Okay. I see that some people didn't sign up. Like this list is from the Meetup group, so whoever is in the Meetup group is in this list. So we have Brian here. Congrats, Brian. I'm not sure if it's the same Byron's in the chat. I have no idea how to pronounce his name.
I was thinking would be interesting to see you pronounce that.
Yeah, I couldn't find the English name, so maybe TV. I should call TV. Let's see, we have a couple of more giveaways to do. Martin Brewer. Do we have Martin here on the call? Congrats, Martin. I think it's Anders, right?
That's Anders.
Okay, Anders. Congrats, Anders. Let's see.
Oh, do I win? Oh, so close.
Johan Benike, congrats. Let's see. Ben. Congrats, Ben. I think this is like the last one. Let's see who's going to win the last one. Marcus Larson. Sounds like Swedish. Congrats, Marcus. That concludes our giveaways. I'm gonna send out the links so that you can claim. I'm going to send out on the Meetup channel, so you get directly on your email. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining today. And hope to see you next month in the Wax Coffee Times. And don't forget to bring your coffee next time. I didn't mention it before, but don't forget to bring your coffee next time. And see you again. And thanks, Jona, for joining in. And congrats to all the winners.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for hosting this first coffee time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Have a nice evening. Take care, guys.
Thanks for everyone watching.